Hey folks, turn this thing around. Let's see how that is. There we go. Hey folks, KT. Welcome to Everyday KT number 122. Today, we're talking about the kilt police and how to be awesome. So, for those of you who don't know, the kilt police are folks who go out there and they tell people that there is a specific way to wear the kilt. Now, that ranges from person to person. The old school definition of kilt police were folks who were diehard traditionalists, who you had to have a kilt the proper length, you had to have the proper gear, you had to have the proper this, that, or other thing. And I think that definition is a little it's past its prime. The actual legit definition of the kilt, or my new definition, let me put it that way, the new definition of the kilt police is anyone who tells you that you are wearing your kilt improperly because of some notion of expectations or rules. That does not mean traditional style. This could mean if you have a utility style kilt and you're wearing it, but you're wearing a button-down shirt. Someone might say you're wearing your utility kilt wrong. If you're wearing your tartan kilt with chucks and a t-shirt, someone might say you're wearing your kilt wrong. Now, the two items that you would say graciously accept their help is the pleats are in the front. Yes, that's generally bad. Two, there is a basting stitch in your kilt. Many kilt makers, not all, but many, especially the more expensive ones and the higher end ones, will put stitches in the back to hold the pleats in place during transit. That is generally the sign of a good kilt. Not always. I've had kilts that were complete crap that had a basting stitch. Hang on a sec. It's just water. I've had a long ass day. So, pleats in the back and the basting stitch. Those two things, sure, get them resolved. But everything else, it's an opinion. You know, I do think that it is very, very important to keep traditions alive, to keep the ways in which you wear a tartan kilt, you know, for whatever reasons that you're going to wear them, formal events, because of your family heritage, whatever. That's totally fine. I have no problem with that. I do wear my tartan kilts formally as traditional as possible. That being said, that does not give me the right to walk up to someone else who has an argyle jacket with a Bramer style vest and they're wearing their belt while wearing a Rob Roy style sporran and a kilt with, I don't know, wingtip shoes and their hose. Some people would say that that is a cacophony of disastrous choices. I'm not gonna. I think if it looks good and the person is comfortable in it, fine. You know, if someone wants to understand the proper way to wear a tartan kilt, there are more resources online that I can name in a dozen episodes of Everyday KT. So go look them up. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. I don't do it myself a vast majority of the time. The only time I'm going to stick to tradition as far as how I'm wearing my kilt is if I'm going to a wedding or a funeral or some other event of that caliber. You know, I was an usher at a University of Tulsa graduation one year. Full formal. As close to the rules as I could possibly get based on the equipment that I had. But that doesn't mean that gives me a right to go tell someone to their face that they are wrong. Can we have a legitimate discussion about how to wear a kilt and various options all day long. Can you uh, advise someone and say, hey, kilt looks awesome or whatever, or you don't like it, well, fine. Say, oh, God, you have that particular tartan that makes my eyes bleed. Fine. But you can still have a conversation about how to wear the kilt and the how kilts have been worn throughout history without having a mudslinging match. I've seen this constantly since the day I started doing research on kilts. I've seen people giving other people complete crap about them wearing it wrong. Would that mean, if we're going to follow that same logic, that anyone who's wearing blue jeans who's not a factory worker or a miner is wearing them wrong? Does that mean that, all of the various types of clothing we have, if it's not based on the original intended use, that it's wrong? I think not. The definition of what clothes are and how they function change over time. So as things become more fashionable or less fashionable, their acceptance level will increase or decrease as such, and people will say, hey, I love wearing these, or no, I don't. When I was in high school, I wore camouflage pants and tie-dye t-shirts all the time. It was comfortable, and I didn't care what people thought. That was 30 years ago. So now, if you look around, you go to, and 30 years ago, if you wanted camo, you had to go to one place, the military surplus store. That's it. Camo was not found in, well, some hunting stores, but not many. Most of the camo was in the Army Navy surplus stores. Now, you can get $1,000 couture bags that are camouflage. You kidding me? You have more camouflage styles than there are things to hide with camouflage. I've seen some camouflages that would make your skin crawl. But they're everywhere now. So 30 years, camouflage has gone from, oh, that's just what the vets wear, or you get it at the surplus store. Now, it's everywhere. You can go to every Walmart, and you can find something camouflage that is not in the hunting section. It's just there. It might be pink and white and red camouflage, but it's camo. Same thing with kilts. For hundreds of years, people have worn kilts, and it's more or less been a traditional interpretation of how to wear the kilt, of sorts. Now, those traditions have changed over the past few hundred years. Originally, there was the Irish lean, which was a belted garment, and it went to the great kilt, which was cut down and made into the current style kilt. They call it a small kilt. I can't pronounce the Gaelic name, but it's like, anyway, I'm not even going to try it. I have to see it in front of me to do it properly. But how those kilts have been worn have changed significantly over the past few hundred years. And now, with the advent of utility kilts and what they've done for the industry, they said, hey, you know what? Kilts are cool, but I'm not wearing a tartan one. I'm going to go make my own. I'm going to try this, but I might be misquoting the story. I heard something along the lines that Crash, the founder of utility kilts, got a pair of camo pants again, cut the crotch out, sewed it together, and sewed them so it looks like a kilt, and boom, there's your first kilt. The first modern utility kilt was a pair of old camo pants that Crash sewed up. Now, I don't know if that's 100% accurate, so go check the utilikilt.com website, go check it out. But in my eyes, that's where modern kilting started. And by modern, I mean putting them in the forefront not only as a traditional garment, but as a fashion garment, where you can wear it, not be Scottish, not care, wear it because you like how it looks, you like how it feels. Not because your 12 generations removed from King What's His Nuts or Chief What's His Nuts in Castle Who's He What's It over in Scotland. A lot of people don't have that. And that's fine, but they still wear kilts because they love them. They think they're awesome. They love the way they look. They love the way they make the individual feel because I know it's generally, I don't know, for some reason clothes or their kilt actually gives people a sense of empowerment and confidence. And it's awesome. So they love that. I love it I love it because I go out someplace, people want to come talk to me. I actually walked past someone today at Walmart that I have known for years. And I had my jeans on because, like I said in my video earlier, I've been out working with my brother all day, and if I had a kilt on today, I promise you, that's 2 days in a row now, it would have gone straight to the dustbin. Completely would have trashed it and destroyed it. We're taking apart a metal structure. It would have been just horrible for the kilt. And it would have been unsafe because I'm probably sure that I would have gotten cut a couple of times because of the hitting pieces of metal hitting my legs. Hey, welcome everybody. I'm kind of on a roll, so I haven't been really acknowledging everybody, but hi everybody. So I put on my 511 because this is the latest mainstream manufacturer that has a unique design that I've seen. And while I'm not 100% enamored with the design, it's damn near indestructible. So it's awesome. So I do love it. I don't know. Anyway, so with the kilt police, so like I said, clothing tradition has changed over the generations, and now kilts are in the forefront. You see videos about them all the time. You see videos, you see stars wearing them, famous people wearing them, out and about, above and beyond a formal event. And it's awesome. And now you've got people like me, and I don't even know how many other people. I know Chris does videos as well. People talking about kilts. So to circle all the way around, with the kilt police, drop the badges. No one on this planet gave you the power to dictate who can and cannot wear their kilt a specific way. Now, there is a caveat, of course, to everything that I've ever said. There's always a caveat. One is the bride-to-be's mom. If she says no kilt, listen to her or you won't get invited and you can't go to the reception. Don't piss off the bride's mom. I know I've said that a million times. Second, if you're at a formal event, especially if it's a Scottish formal event, say a Burns Night Supper, and it is they do it fully formally, or if it's another event where proper decorum is expected, listen, do yourself a favor. If you're going to go, put on your best gear. If you don't have it, fine. No one expects you to spend $3,000 on a full formal, handmade Scottish Prince Charlie outfit with handmade sporrans, handmade gillies, all of that stuff. If you don't have it, you don't have it. Fine. Do the best you can with what you've got. There are a million alternatives which are most of the time acceptable, which are significantly cheaper. So there are alternatives. But outside of those few events, I'm going to ask you again, anyone out there who says that you have to have your kilt on a specific way or you are somehow less of a person, I call bullshit. If you're going to wear the kilt, then wear the damn thing. And if you see someone wearing it different than you, guess what? That person has the balls to wear their kilt the way they want to, just like you do. You may have more resources. You may have the ability to purchase an entire wardrobe of handmade kilts with matching socks and diced hose with plenty of vests and the proper everything from head to toe. Awesome. The guy you're talking to may be wearing his very first kilt and he works 50, 60 hours a week for minimum wage. And the one he has is his prized possession, but it's the only one he has. Cut the guy a break. You don't need to bust his chops. He's already on cloud nine because he's like, finally saved up. I got my kilt. I'm wearing it out. Hell yes. And you swoop in and you completely destroy his universe, telling him that it is completely wrong and bad. Do not do that shit. Please. Save everyone. All kilt wearers have enough shit to go through every single day from people who just don't get it. We do not need that within ourselves. So give it a rest. Again, historically, if you want to wear your kilt historically, fine. If you're going to, do the effort and the research to understand everything about how the kilt is worn historically and culturally accurately, fine. Amazing. Still doesn't give you the power to go bust everyone's chops because they're not doing the same thing. For me, some of my kilts are the equivalent of my blue jeans. How many people are out there wearing blue jeans with every damn thing under the sun? So I implore you, anyone out there who makes it their mission in life to dictate how a kilt has to be worn, please keep in mind that at some point in your life, you were probably standing in that other person's shoes with your first kilt, probably on backwards, may not have had a lot of help teaching you how to wear the thing. You've just had a lot longer to do your research and get used to it and understand how you wear your kilt, how it is worn based on a specific set of rules from a specific time period. That other person may have just gotten it off the rack. Help them out, but give them a break. Bingo, Doug, nailed it right there. There are as many ways to wear a kilt as there are people on this planet. Some of them are very difficult and interesting. Some of them are mainstream and what everybody else wears. So what? Put the thing on, get out there, wear your kilt, kick ass. That's the story for the night. Go out there, do your shit, kick some ass, and think of it this way. If you walk up to a guy and you got two choices. One, congratulate him, probably share a beer with the guy, have all kinds of crazy stories, and probably meet up with him in about a week or two at the next kilt night. Or walk up to the guy because he's wearing a utility style kilt with chucks, and the chucks are different colors, and he's wearing a Run DMC t-shirt from the 80s, and you bust his chops because he's not wearing a real kilt. What's going to happen? You're going to create strife between you and him, and he's never going to want to talk to you again. And depending on where he is in his path to, I don't even know, I'll come up with some pithy remark, but basically his path to wearing the kilt comfortably and regularly, you may have completely screwed that guy's life. Completely screwed that guy's life. Because he was on cloud nine, awesome, doing amazing, and you came in and you're like, hey, guess what? Your kilt's wrong. Boom! You're not wearing it right. Knock that shit off. So, I'm not even going to give you a kiltology night because I've already said everything that I could possibly say about this, and anything else that I would read, unless it's one or two specific kiltologies and the odds are really low, that I'm going to grab it. I'm going to leave you with that knowledge. Kilt police is not just traditionalists. It's anyone who is making their life's purpose to busting everyone else's chops over how they're wearing the kilt. Knock that shit off. It's not doing anybody any favors. Last thing we need is more fights between guys in kilts. Never, ever ends well. So, tomorrow, it's going to be Monday night. It's going to be my first Boy Scout meeting as a Scoutmaster. So, Might be a little bit delayed, but it'll be on there tomorrow night. Hopefully, it'll be something awesome. And take it from there. Do me a favor and in the comments, let me know. Let me know your best experience, not the worst, the best experience you've had randomly showing up talking to somebody who you've never met before, and you wind up talking about kilt police style type stuff, how you're wearing your kilt. I want to know your best, the very best experience you've had so far in your journey of wearing a kilt. So put that in the comments below, and tomorrow we'll talk about that, and I'll come up with something awesome between now and tomorrow. And yeah, for those of you who are asking, this is a Band-Aid. I pounded the crap out of my thumb today. And, you know, it was one of those things where if it was a cut like this, I'd be getting stitches. But no, it goes like this. So it was like I got my finger in a planer. Not a lot of blood. It just sucks. So, yeah, that's why that's there. So, till tomorrow night, about 9 o'clock. Be strong. Put a kilt on. And help out the next guy you see wearing a kilt. Because you never know. It could be their first day out and they need that boost in confidence so they can keep going. Talk to you tomorrow.